Hi everyone and welcome to Cruiseful. For today's video, we'll be going over some tips on how to avoid or help alleviate seasickness. If you are prone to seasickness and are going on your first cruise, I am sure you are a bit nervous. An episode of seasickness can turn even the best and most extravagant cruise experience into a nightmare. While seasickness doesn't affect everyone, it can be completely miserable and incapacitating for some. So what exactly is seasickness? Seasickness is the result of a complex physiological reaction to motion. Basically, your senses and physical self is reacting to two different feelings and confusing the two. It is accompanied by nausea, vomiting, dizziness, headaches, and cold sweats. If you are someone who is prone to motion sickness from traveling in a car or plane, chances are you will be more susceptible to seasickness on the sea as well. While it's never going to be the same for everyone, here are some strategies and ways to prevent motion sickness before it becomes a problem. Here are some examples of ways you can prepare for and prevent seasickness. Bring medication. There is a variety of different over-the-counter medications available to help prevent or treat motion sickness. Medications like these include antiemetic drugs such as Dramamine or Bonine. Scopolamine drugs are also available but usually require a prescription ahead of time. The way these medications work is by reversing and counteracting the effects of the chemicals released by the brain before or during seasickness. Remember to eat. While you may not feel like eating, having at least some food in your stomach is better than it being empty with nothing at all. The best food options for times when seasickness is present or a possibility are foods that are light and bland. Options like crackers, bread, and peppermint are some of the best choices that won't cause too much harm to your body. Ginger ale or a warm tea has also been known to lighten the effects of an upset stomach caused by motion sickness. Get a lot of rest. Before debarking onto your cruise, be sure to get a good night's sleep beforehand. Symptoms of exhaustion and tiredness are some of the factors that may cause seasickness to be brought on in the first place. The best thing you can do before setting sail is to relax and get as much rest as possible. Get some fresh air. If you are starting to feel the symptoms of seasickness coming on, try to get somewhere open with fresh air. An outdoor balcony will allow you to feel the wind in your face without all the extra fumes or toxins from the air indoors. Let your eyes see the motion, not just feel the motion, and the motion sickness would start to settle down. Avoid books and screens. Trying to focus on reading a book or staring at a lit-up screen is a good and most common way to trigger the symptoms of seasickness. Watching a stationary object while at the same time sensing the movement of their environment can convince your brain it is wrong and induce feelings of nausea. If you are starting to feel the effects of nausea coming on after participating in one of the mentioned activities, the best way to rebalance yourself is to take a breath of fresh air and have a small rest with your eyes closed. Avoid stimuli that can trigger nausea. Nausea is the main symptom and typically the strongest of seasickness. Feeling nauseous can aggravate the other symptoms, bringing on the total exhaustive feeling of seasickness. Do your best to avoid certain triggers that are known to make you nauseous. While it may not be the exact same for everyone, triggers such as greasy or spicy food, acidic drinks, and especially alcohol are just a few examples. Additionally, avoid anyone who is sick or is showing signs of seasickness, as it will intensify or influence signs of your own. Head to the middle of the ship. If you are new to the cruising experience or not very educated about life on the water, it might be smart to do some research ahead of time. When booking your cabin or choosing daily activities, keep in mind where you are located on the ship. The swaying and rocking of the ship are going to be a lot more noticeable around the outside edges. It is advisable to keep close to the middle regions of the ship to alleviate the effects or to avoid seasickness symptoms altogether. Book a lower deck room. Not only is it recommended to book a room in the middle of the ship, but it's also to select the lowest possible deck. Being on the higher decks makes you feel the motion of the ocean more intensely. Having a room lower on the ship helps mitigate the sway of the ocean. Keep your eye on the horizon. Seasickness is typically brought on by a disconnection from your senses and physical movement. Always watching the water speed past or focusing on the rocking and swaying of the ship is indeed going to increase the chances of you becoming seasick. As the old sailor's advice goes, keep an eye on the horizon. Pick one focal point and focus on nothing but that. This technique will help to rebalance your equilibrium and reorient yourself. So although it may seem counterintuitive, selecting a room that has a window or balcony can help. Go natural. There are some people who just are not keen on taking a lot of pills or medications to relieve pain and seasickness. Luckily, there are other natural alternatives that have been known to reduce the signs and symptoms of seasickness. Chewing and sipping on ginger is a very common tactic, in addition to other scents such as peppermint or lavender. Deep breathing and medication are also encouraged. So those are some ways to help you when you're cruising and get a bout of seasickness. If you have any other tips, let us know. I hope Cruiseful was useful in helping you find your next cruise. Until next time.